Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would do something a little bit different and come in here and tell you about my goals when it comes to fitness and movement and working out. So I get a lot of questions from people asking me, so do you have a plan? How do you decide what to do when you go to the gym? How do you decide how to what to train? And I realized that because my training is not focused on going to the gym and working on specific parts of my bodies like I see very often, it's that bodybuilder inspired type of training. People struggle to understand how I decide what my goals are, so I thought it would be interesting to share my goals as someone that is skill based as a practice and really struggles to go to a regular gym and do the machines. So, just to give you an idea of everything that I do, I currently have a rotation of disciplines that I'm working on. So, I work on hand balancing, so handstands. I love them, they're so much fun. And then I work on calisthenics as well. So, I go to a calisthenics gym and I have a couple of skills that I work on. And then my third discipline is really aerial hoops. And this is the one that I do the most because that's where I want to progress the most. And that's what brings me the most fun. And then you have all these peripheral activities that I enjoy doing, such as dancing, walking. Sometimes I'll do steps. So sometimes I'll go to yoga. Sometimes I'll do like Pilates. So just those are considered like peripheric activities that I don't do regularly. They're not my main. So my main are handstands, so hand balancing, and then aerial hoops and calisthenics. The number one goal that I have for this year, and this is in no particular order, but I want to get 10 pull ups, 10 strict pull ups without any bend. So when I started calisthenics, that was in December of this year. So about 5 months ago, I could barely do two pull ups, like strict pull ups. And now, 5 months later, I'm currently around five, six pull ups, strict pull ups. So I'm pretty confident that I can reach this goal. And this is supported truly by going to calisthenics and doing the classes. But also when I do aerial hoops, we also do work on pull ups because there's a lot of pull strength when you're working on hoops. So hopefully that helps you understand, like, this first one helps you understand how I structure it. I told you how it translates across the disciplines that I work on. So whether I go to calisthenics or I go to hoops, I know that I'm working on my pull strength through pull-ups. So that's my first goal. I think having 10 strict pull-ups is really good. It's a good foundation for calisthenics, a lot of skills, but also because in aerial hoops, I care a lot about building foundational strength to make sure that whenever I'm taking different positions, my body is comfortable and I'm really like at ease and I'm not putting too much stress on my joints. So it's important to work those fundamental positions, and pull-ups are one of those. So 10 pull ups is my goal by the end of the year. Strict pull ups, no bends. My second goal, I told you that I do aerial hoops. That's my main discipline. So I'm filming this. We're at the end of April. I have a show coming up on May. Hopefully I'll be able to film this and show you guys. But hoops is something that I really enjoy doing. It's just so much fun. It's a mix of everything that I love doing. I started with dancing when I was a kid. I've always been a dancer, but I also really like the strength aspects of calisthenics. But it's just too static for me, and it was missing for me that artistic expression which I get in hoops. So hoops is truly a mix of everything that I like. I like feeling like I'm upside down, up in the air. That's why I also do handstands. So hoops is really truly a mixture of everything. And my goal related to hoops is being able to create a combo. So, like I said, I have a show coming up with my teacher in May. And then for next year, I'm hoping to participate in a competition that will force me to really create a combo for myself and see what do I want to explore, what am I comfortable doing, what do I want to do more of, and what do I want to do less of. And it will will push me in terms of creativity as well, choosing the music, choosing the step, and seeing if I can do something where I'm mixing my dancing background with my hoop skills that I'm getting. I've been doing hoops for it's going to be almost a year now, so I'm very excited about that. But that's my second goal that I wanted to share with you is being able to create a full 3-minute combo on aerial hoops by the end of the year. I think that would be really cool. So that's my second goal. So my third goal is handstand push-up. So I told you one of my practices is handstands. I really enjoy handstands. They're so much fun. You can get creative. You can do it very strong way, the calisthenics way, which is not my favorite. I prefer the circus way. But a really cool skill that I can work on and I want to work on is the handstand push-up, which is it's a mix of everything that I like. The strength from calisthenics, but also the stability that you get from handstand training. So I want to be able to do one handstand push up. And for me, having that push goal is very important because everything that I do is pull focus. Well, I told you about the pull ups. When you do aerial, you do a lot of pull movements and very little push movement. Push movements are anything like a push up or dips, those are push movements. So having a goal like a handstand push-up forces me to work on my push-ups. That way I don't have imbalances or I'm trying to correct them. So that's why I have it as my third goal. And this is a soft goal, guys, because honestly I haven't been the best at keeping up at my calisthenics workout and push-ups. I've been mostly focused on hoops, and that is okay. This is to show you the fluidity that you can have within your training. As long as you're being active, I think that's what matters, and as long as you're making sure that you're minimizing injury risks and having fun and you're trying to correct those imbalances, that's what truly matters. So for me, having that push goal is just a reminder that I need to work on my push strength in order to be more balanced as an athlete. So my fourth goal, and this one is kind of related to the one previously, the handstand push-up goal, but I want to be really comfortable in a handstand. I am very cognizant that the journey that it takes to do a one-arm handstand is very, very tough. It's really tough. I'm thinking about years. I think maybe in 3 years I'll be able to do like a handstand, one-arm handstand, but I think I'm at this point where I'm intermediate, so I'm not progressing as much. And at some point, I have to say I was pretty frustrated with my practice. So, as a goal for myself to not be frustrated with my practice and keep going, I want to be more comfortable in a handstand. And for me, being more comfortable in a handstand means going more towards that circus handstand. My teacher is a big inspiration for me, really finding the flow and the fluidity and the creativity and the joy in the movement. I think will get me to the next level, build more comfort, build more time under tension. Because if you spend a lot of your practice just kicking and kicking and kicking and doing all those presses and all those movements, it might be repetitive, and for me I need a lot of shifts and a lot of changes to keep me going, and creativity really is a motor for me to keep me going. So that's why I have as a goal to be more creative in my handstand and find more comfort in my handstand. And it is a soft goal. It's not something that I'm like, oh, I need to be able to do 10 reps of this thing, but it's something that I keep in the back of my mind whenever I'm doing a practice, and it will allow me to accumulate more time in the position, but also to progress in a way that is what I want to do, right? It will allow me to progress towards like a one-arm handstand, but the circus where it looks like effortless. This is the goal for me. I always want my positions to look effortless and beautiful. And then the last goal that I wanted to share with you is to maintain flexibility. So, my flexibility teacher, often says that flexibility is strength. And you've probably heard that what bend doesn't break. So, flexibility is super important when we're trying to achieve some of the positions. If you're working on your handstand, making sure that you have good shoulder flexibility is super important. If you're doing a lot of calisthenics, if you're doing a lot of movement, but even if you're working at a desk, flexibility is so important. It will open up doors that you never thought could be open for you. Because I am flexible, I'm able to do like a press to handstand and stuff like that, and it's easier for me compared to some people that really have to use a lot of strength to get themselves in certain position. Being flexible is it looks really good also if you're doing any type of circus. I think anyone should be aiming to work on their flexibility and do a little bit of mobility as well. That's how you protect your joint. That's how you make sure that you're comfortable in your body as well. And you'll be surprised by everything that you can achieve no matter your age. No matter your age, you can get more flexible. You can work on that. I think everybody should have the goal of at least stretching every day for at least 5 to 10 minutes. I think that should be the bare minimum. But also, if you're doing a lot of workouts and you know that you're soliciting a lot of muscles, for example upper body muscles, it is super important to make sure that you counter the effects of putting so much stress on your muscles. And you will see some loss in flexibility. Probably if you work a lot of calisthenics, you will probably see a little bit of loss of flexibility, but it is important that we're always cognition of that, and always think about how can I bring a little bit more room into those muscles and those range of motions. Because if you don't take care of that, it'll compound, and then it'll become way harder for you to achieve certain goals and feel comfortable within your body. And that's not what we want. We're training for pleasure, we're training for health and longevity, we're training for the long term, so we want to make sure that we're balanced. So that was it. Those were my goals. I wanted to share them with you guys so you get an idea of what I do in order to keep myself motivated, but also an idea of how I structure my training and what keeps me going. And hopefully that's an inspiration for you, especially if you're cross training a lot. It's super important to make sure that you have goals to keep you going and just give you a little bit of structure as to how you approach your training. So, as a summary, my number one goal, and this is for accountability as well, my number one goal in no particular order of importance is I want to be able to do 10 strict pull ups by the end of the year. I think that's very realistic. My second goal is I want to be able to create a full hoop combo by the end of the year, a 3 minute hoop combo based on the song that I really enjoy. My number three goal is a handstand push up, just one. Just give me one handstand push up. I feel like that would be really cool. And then my goal number four is I want to be able to be really comfortable in my handstands in the circus way. Find some flexibility, some joy, really funky positions. And then my last goal is I want to maintain my flexibility because flexibility is strength. That's it for me. What are your goals, guys? Let's keep each other motivated. If you cross train or if you don't cross train, how do you keep yourself motivated? How do you structure your training? Feel free to share them in the comment section down below, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.